2 tests, 2 locations, and the 2026 F1 season already looks nothing like what anyone predicted. Red Bull were untouchable for years, but what happened in preseason testing has the entire F1 world asking, is their era finally over? Hey, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today's video is about 2026 season predictions depending on preseason testing of both Bahrain and Barcelona. First, we discuss Red Bull's performance results in both testing, and then we will go towards the predictions. So watch till the end and hit subscribe because this video can change your thoughts about the 2026 F1 season. So let's start with Red Bull Racing, because understanding their position is crucial to predicting how the championship will unfold. Red Bull's new team principal, Laurent Mekies, has been remarkably honest about where his team stands. He believes Red Bull is currently the 4th fastest team on the grid, sitting just behind the front pair of Mercedes and Ferrari, with McLaren likely ahead as well. This is a stunning admission from a team that dominated Formula One for the past several years. But before we write off Red Bull's championship chances, we need to look deeper at what happened during testing. Red Bull completed 672 total laps across Barcelona and both Bahrain testing sessions. This lap count matches Mercedes exactly, and it represents an enormous amount of data collection and reliability validation. The fact that Red Bull could complete this many laps with a completely new in-house developed power unit is nothing short of remarkable. Max Verstappen's fastest lap during testing came on day 6 of the Bahrain sessions, where he posted a 1:33.109. To put this in context, he was approximately 1.1 seconds slower than Charles Leclerc's blistering 1:31.992, which stood as the fastest time of all preseason running. That 1.1 second gap sounds massive, and in Formula One terms, it absolutely is. However, Red Bull's technical director, Pierre Wash, has urged caution about reading too much into testing times, admitting they're behind, but noting that it could be wrong. What makes Red Bull's testing program particularly interesting is the integration of their Ford-badged power unit, internally designated as the DM01 in honor of late Red Bull chairman Dietrich Mateschitz. Building a competitive Formula One power unit from scratch in just 2.5 years is an almost impossible task. Mercedes, Ferrari, and Renault have decades of institutional knowledge. Honda needed years to become competitive when they returned to the sport. Yet Red Bull, working from their Milton Keynes facility with engineering talent poached from established manufacturers, has created a power unit that not only works but appears to be genuinely competitive. The reliability Red Bull Ford demonstrated is perhaps their most impressive achievement. While rivals like Ferrari encountered technical issues that limited Lewis Hamilton's running, and Aston Martin suffered catastrophic Honda engine failures, Red Bull ran lap after lap without major problems. Combined with their sister team, Racing Bulls, the Ford power unit accumulated over 670 laps of trouble-free running. This reliability advantage cannot be overstated. In 2026, where energy management and electrical deployment are critical, having a power unit you can trust absolutely gives drivers the confidence to push hard without fear of mechanical failure. Red Bull's energy deployment capability has attracted particular attention from rivals. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff admitted that Red Bull is deploying far more energy on straights than everybody else over 10 consecutive laps. In an era where 50% of the car's power comes from the electric motor, this sustained energy deployment represents a genuine competitive advantage. While other teams can match Red Bull's electrical performance for a single qualifying lap, maintaining that level over race stints is what wins championships. However, Red Bull faces a significant challenge that could undermine their championship aspirations: their driver lineup. Max Verstappen is universally recognized as one of the greatest drivers in Formula One history, but his new teammate, Isaac Hadjar, is a complete rookie at this level. Statistical models predict that Hadjar will score only 29% of Red Bull's total points, making this the most one-sided teammate pairing on the grid. Compare this to their rivals. Ferrari has Charles Leclerc and Hamilton, arguably the strongest driver pairing on the grid. McLaren fields Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, two young stars who both delivered victories in recent seasons. Red Bull's potential disadvantage in the Constructors' Championship is very real. While Max Verstappen might drag the RB22 to podiums and victories through sheer talent, Hadjar's inexperience could see Red Bull finish fourth in the constructors' standings, even if they have the second or third fastest car. Verstappen has a brutal track record with teammates. Over his career, he's had 7 different racing partners at Red Bull, and the longest any of them lasted was 3 seasons, Sergio Perez, who was ultimately replaced by Hadjar. The pressure on Hadjar is immense. He's coming off an excellent season in junior categories, but Formula One is an entirely different beast, especially racing alongside arguably the most complete driver on the current grid. Now let's move into predictions for the 2026 season, because this is where things get really fascinating. Despite Red Bull apparently having the 4th fastest car based on testing, Max Verstappen remains the second favorite for the Drivers' Championship at most bookmakers, with odds ranging from 2-4 to 11-4. George Russell is the marginal favorite at similar odds, while Lando Norris sits third at 4-1 to 5-1.
Why is Verstappen still considered a title favorite, despite his car's apparent deficit? The answer lies in his extraordinary ability to extract performance from machinery that shouldn't be competitive. In 2025, Verstappen dragged what was widely acknowledged as the worst Red Bull car in recent years to second place in the championship, falling just a couple of points short of a 5th title. His racecraft, consistency, and ability to maximize every opportunity make him a threat regardless of the car underneath him. Formula One legend Riccardo Patrese recently explained why he's tipping Verstappen for the championship. Max is the most ready driver to adapt to these new rules. He feels perfectly at ease with the changes. He is always in the simulator and works extremely well with his engineers. This simulator work becomes absolutely crucial in 2026, where energy management, electrical deployment timing, and hybrid system optimization separate winners from losers. Verstappen's dedication to understanding every technical aspect of his car gives him an edge that pure speed alone cannot match. The Constructors' Championship predictions paint a different picture. There's virtually unanimous agreement among experts that Mercedes is the favorite, with Ferrari and McLaren fighting for second, and Red Bull realistically targeting 4th place. This represents a dramatic reversal from recent seasons where Red Bull dominated both championships simultaneously. Mercedes completed the most laps of any team during testing, 672 across all sessions, suggesting supreme confidence in their reliability and package. Their testing program focused heavily on long runs, rather than chasing headline lap times, leading many observers to believe they're hiding significant pace. This wouldn't be the first time Mercedes sandbagged during preseason testing before crushing the opposition once racing began. The compression ratio controversy, where Mercedes is accused of exploiting a regulatory loophole to run higher compression than intended, adds another dimension to their potential advantage. Ferrari emerged as the fastest team in testing, with Charles Leclerc's 1.31.992 standing as the benchmark time. They completed 754 laps across all testing sessions, demonstrating both pace and reliability. Their innovative approach to the race start procedure, using a smaller turbo that spools up quicker than competitors, could give them a significant advantage in the critical opening moments of races. Lewis Hamilton's enthusiastic assessment of the car, claiming his DNA is in this car for the first time in his career, suggests Ferrari has created something genuinely special. McLaren racked up an incredible 790 laps during testing, more than any other team, showing exceptional reliability with their Mercedes power unit. Their consistent pace across all sessions, combined with the proven race-winning abilities of both Norris and Piastri, makes them legitimate title contenders. The British team appears to have carried their strong 2025 form into the new regulations era. Beyond the Big Four of Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, and Red Bull, testing revealed a harsh reality. Formula One is returning to a 2-class system.
Alpine leads the midfield, but sits approximately 1.4 seconds off the pace set by Ferrari. That's an enormous gap that won't be closed quickly through in-season development. Teams like Haas, Racing Bulls, and Williams face battles for best of the rest rather than genuine podium challenges. The back of the grid tells even more dramatic stories. Aston Martin suffered a catastrophic pre-season, with their Honda power unit not even able to recover energy at the minimum 250 kilowatts when the maximum is 350 kilowatts. Despite employing legendary designer Adrian Newey and two-time world champion Fernando Alonso, Aston Martin faces the genuine possibility of not even starting races or failing the 107% qualifying rule. Their disaster represents one of the biggest scandals in recent Formula One history. Cadillac enters as a completely new team and predictably struggles with reliability issues as they learn the complexities of Formula One. Audi, taking over the former Sauber operation, showed massive improvement from Week 1 to Week 2 of Bahrain testing, suggesting they're on an upward trajectory but still far from competitive. So here's the ultimate question. Can Red Bull Racing win championships from fourth place on the grid? The constructors' title seems unlikely unless Hajar dramatically exceeds expectations or Red Bull's mid-season development proves superior to rivals. However, the Drivers' Championship remains absolutely possible if Max Verstappen can replicate or exceed his 2025 performance.
Verstappen's championship chances depend on several factors. First, Red Bull's reliability advantage with the Ford power unit could prove decisive over a 24-race season, while Mercedes, Ferrari, and McLaren might have slightly faster cars initially if they encounter power unit failures or strategic limitations due to component management. Red Bull's bulletproof reliability becomes a massive asset. Second, Verstappen's adaptability to the new regulations, particularly regarding energy management and hybrid deployment, could allow him to extract more from the RB22 than it theoretically deserves. The 2026 cars require a completely different driving style, and Verstappen's simulator work and technical understanding position him perfectly to master these new demands quickly. Third, Red Bull's historical strength in mid-season development cannot be ignored. While they might start the season fourth fastest, their ability to rapidly evolve the car, combined with their now proven power unit development capabilities, means they could close or eliminate the gap by mid-season. If Red Bull arrives at the summer break with the second or even fastest car, Verstappen would become the overwhelming championship favorite. The mathematical models and expert predictions paint a fascinating picture, a potential scenario where Max Verstappen wins the Drivers' Championship, while Red Bull finishes fourth in the constructors' standings. This would be unprecedented in modern Formula One, representing perhaps the greatest individual driving performance in the sport's history. One thing is absolutely certain: the 2026 Formula One season will not follow a predictable script. The competitive order has been reshuffled, new regulations create uncertainty, and multiple teams have genuine championship aspirations. Red Bull might not be the dominant force they were in recent years, but writing them off would be a mistake. Max Verstappen remains the most complete driver on the grid, and Red Bull Ford has proven they can build competitive, reliable machinery from scratch. So there you have it. Red Bull starts as the underdog for the first time in years, but don't count them out. The 2026 season promises incredible battles, unexpected results, and potentially one of the greatest championship fights in Formula One history. What do you think? Can Verstappen win his fifth title from the fourth fastest car? Will Mercedes dominate, or will Ferrari finally end their championship drought? Drop your predictions in the comments below, hit that subscribe button to join our community, and make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our 2026 season coverage. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the first race in Melbourne.